Hey guys, be sure to check out the Mortar Pod, our weekly video podcast, and also check out the tutorial video for my board game, Travelers of Storia. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another Swiss Khans of Tarkir draft, and we've got a good rare here. 4-mana, 3/4 flyer, gets additional bonuses, it gives additional bonuses, very good card. Also have Arc Lightning Arrow Storm in here, which I like. And the Wind Scout, which is good. Bivouac, some fixing, and a little bit more fixing with the Swiftwater Cliffs. Not too much else, but very nice first pick. Okay, follow-up pick. Big fan of Smite the Monstrous. In this format especially, there's just pretty much that whole common cycle. Not every single one, but I want to say most of them are 4 power, so Smite is just a really nice card in this format. Very powerful, much better than it was in Innistrad. And what else is in here? Icefeather Aven is a good card. It's presumably better than Smite, because it's an evasive creature that can also bounce, maybe, but I think staying on point with our High Sentinels for now and getting a pretty solid removal spell in Smite the Monstrous is perfectly fine. Until we branch out and start getting fixing and stuff like that. So, pretty good blue cards in here. So that is, that's an option. They're decent. I guess the Elder and the Force Away are, but yeah, I think we're just going to take Smite. I'm not exactly sure what we're hoping to wheel from here. Maybe we can start going green and going more of a junk route, Abzan, something like that. Like here's a good Abzan card. There's a Temur Charm in here. There's some fixing. Horde Chief, which is pretty good. Little fixing, yeah. So fixing the common morph guy, who's fine. I don't have any problems with Abzan Guide. And Mardu Horde Chief, which keeps us straight on color, but I think this tends to work a little bit better in, well, Mardu, like its Horde, like its name suggests. But well, I don't know. I can do it, and I can still go Mardu as well. So I can go Abzan or Mardu. Abzan Guide is a good card. I don't know if I necessarily need to take it here. The Horde Chief is actually pretty good because 2/3s in this format with all the morph guys are pretty legitimate. I think I'm going to take the Horde Chief here. I like him. He's good. Okay, so now if we want to take a Mardu card, I think that we take, well, we can go Mardu or Abzan. So if we take Abzan cards, we can take like Awaken the Bear or Jeskai Wind Scout. If we take Mardu cards, we want like Warname Aspirant and Bring Low. And probably the Bring Low just because it's removal, but I actually do like Warname Aspirant. And I do think 2-drops in this format are, 2-drop creatures rather, are much more powerful than in a lot of limited formats because the most common third turn play is just a morph creature. It's just a gray ogre. The most common third turn play is a gray ogre. So having like little pikers and bears can really, I don't know, put a lot of pressure on fast, which makes this Warname Aspirant kind of appealing, to be honest. I think I'm going to take the removal anyway, but that was close. So Trumpet Blast, there's also Death Frenzy. Death Frenzy is the Abzan card. And the nice thing is it doesn't kill any of the creatures we have so far, which is legitimately nice. That is good. I think we can take the Death Frenzy. That's a pretty powerful effect. Kill all morph dudes, gain life. Not bad. I can see, I guess I can see places where that's not that good, but otherwise, I'm taking Sidisi's Pet, I guess, which is okay too, for Mardu or Abzan. So I could go for the more, I just don't think the Pet's that great of a card, I guess. Sage-Eye Harrier's okay because it's got the 5 toughness, but I think I'll go with Death Frenzy here. I'm okay with that. Okay, so Blossoming Sands helps fix for Abzan. There's also Horde Ambusher and Bloodfire Expert, which are pretty good cards. Feat of Resistance is a fantastic spell. I'm a huge fan of Feat of Resistance. I think I want to take it. It does kind of double duty in this deck with the High Sentinels of Erishen, because you can just boost High Sentinels out of nowhere, instant speed, as well as protect another creature, you know, from a removal spell, or use it as a combat trick. So I'm a big fan of Feat of Resistance. I think I'm going to take it here. That's just a really nice effect. I really do like that effect. That effect usually is just very good and limited in general, but this one having the added bonus of also being a combat trick and triggering prowess and stuff, it's just tremendously powerful, I think. I really think Feat of Resistance is one of the better spells for limited. Okay, so I mean, Raider Spoils is a thing. It's kind of cool with, yeah, it actually is pretty cool with Horde Chief, since this guy makes 2 warriors. But I think fixing is probably pretty important here. I mean, if I got a bunch of token cards, I'd probably just want the Raider Spoils. But I guess we take the fixing. Quite a few people commented I didn't value fixing high enough, which might be true, but you got to keep in mind I'm kind of in an experimental phase of the draft right now, where if you remember my first draft, I valued fixing extremely high, ended up with a lot, but a deck that was pretty unimpressive. So then I sort of went the other direction. I wanted to see if you could get fixing super late, and I think that's where a lot of people started criticizing me. But you have to understand, I'm experimenting right now, guys. I'm trying to figure out the format a little bit. I'm trying to see how highly I need to value fixing to successfully make the deck I want to make. I can take the Scavenger here probably pretty easily, and it works for Mardu or Abzan, so I'm probably cool with that. Could also take the Thornwood Falls, which opens us up for blue, but we're not even necessarily green yet. Depends on if we can make the Abzan work. Okay, so Bitter Revelation is good. Rush of Battle is pretty good, with the Warriors at least, but I've got some Soldier too. Could just take the War Behemoth. Bitter Revelation is going to work better with Delve, but Delve is the Sultai mechanic, so I'm not sure about that. Could also just take the fixing, I guess, which opens us up for blue. I guess here I can take the fixing. War Behemoth, I guess I'm not like heartbroken about missing. Bitter Revelation's a pretty good card, so I could have taken that. Dragon Grip, I guess I'm okay with that. I don't have any problems with Dragon Grip. It's not amazing, but there's nothing else in here that's really amazing. Alter the Brood's not really doing it for me, especially if we play against a Sultai deck, so let's just take the Dragon Grip. Okay, so we can take the Fight card. We can also take Secret Plans, but we don't have any Morph guys, so that one's not really doing it for me either. Let's just take the Swift Kick, which is an actual removal spell, so I'm cool with that. Works well with Horde Chief and High Sentinels. Even Sultai Scavenger, it's not bad with that. So Swift Kick here. All right, I think we're presumably going Mardu. Secret Plans, I guess. I could have taken Shatter, but I think I'd likely see another one of those later. All right, we'll take the Flock. Snowhorn Rider, second to last. It's a pretty good card, actually, going that late. Okay, so we got a couple fixing cards that potentially open us up for a green splash or a blue splash, but right now I think we're just Mardu. So eventually going to have to get some fixing for that plan if we want to make it work. Ooh, Blood-Soaked Champion. This guy's pretty cool. I think the problem with Blood-Soaked Champion is it's much better for a constructed deck than it is for a deck like this. Could take a second Feat of Resistance. I really do think the card's that good. Yeah, I really do. I don't know what else to say. It's a combat trick that protects. I'll just keep saying it. Horde Ambusher, good for beatdown. A second Sultai Scavenger is probably fine, but we don't have a ton of help for that. Burn Away is pretty good too. Just, you know, solid removal spell. I'm pretty tempted to take the Feat of Resistance. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of thinking this card's that powerful. Blood-Soaked Champion I don't think I'm gonna take. It's not that this is a bad card. It's just a 2/1 that can't block. So I mean, it's pretty quick, but it's like our second black card we'd pick. Something feels awkward about it. We could take the fixing, but I'm gonna take Feat of Resistance. I'm gonna go on a hunch that this card is as powerful as I think it is. So I'm gonna take that. All right. Well, Chief of the Edge is definitely an option. It's good with Mardu Horde Chief. It's also Ponyback Brigade though, which is pretty awesome. Kill Shot, straight up removal. A lot of good options here. 3-2 for 2 is pretty nice, as well as buffing warriors. This guy's a warrior too. Do not forget. It might be legitimate enough. Double buffing Horde Chief. I mean that's an insane turn progression. Chief of the Edge into Horde Chief. And you just end up with what, like 8 power on the board by turn 3? That is actually insane. Yeah, I mean that's just insane. I don't know what to say about it. I think I'm going to take the Chief of the Edge. I like the Ponyback Brigade a lot, but I never get a chance to play these guys, and they are pretty solid 2-drops. So I think I'm going to take it. I like the Kill Shot removal too, but I want to try this Chief of the Edge out. Oh, geez, multiples, and it's a warrior. That's pretty insane. Abzan Battle Priest also very good. Rough Rider's very good. A lot of good, just an insane amount of good Mardu cards here. Big fan of Debilitating Injury, kills Morph. Big fan of Einok Bondkin, it's pretty good. Let's take the second Chief of the Edge. I'm gonna go. Let's try like a Warrior beatdown deck. Yeah, I mean I've never. If you're gonna take them, go for it. So Rush of Battle gets a lot better. I think we probably want the Arrow Storm despite it being tough on the mana. I think that's okay. Could also take the Disowned Ancestor. It's a warrior, so it's going to work better with our Chief of the Edges. Maybe we play to our Lord a little bit better and minimize red, because we do only have 3 red cards in here, so perhaps we can go back towards junk, and then our Blossoming Sands gets a little bit better too. All right, maybe I can get behind that. And hopefully, wheel the Rush of Battle. That would be ideal. So yeah, I guess we'll take the Disowned Ancestor. We'll get a nice warrior spell here. Let's try and make these Chief of the Edges good. Disowned Ancestor also turns on Horde Chief even with the 0 power, so I kind of like that. Here's another warrior. I think we're just gonna. Here's another warrior too. A lot of warriors. Very good. I think we're just gonna take the Skull Hunter here. Bloodfell Caves is good fixing, but Skull Hunter, being a warrior, being a 2-drop, working so well with our Chief of the Edges, I think we're just going to go for it. I think we're going to go for that. Another Feat of Resistance would be a welcome sight, but we have 2 already, so we're sitting pretty good. Here's a Mardu Charm. It's also a Trumpet Blast. Mardu Blazebringer is also a warrior. I'm pretty happy with all these warriors we're seeing. That's good news. Yeah, I think we're just going to slam the Mardu Charm pretty easily here. It also creates warriors. Cards that create warriors. Definitely hunting for those. So Erase is something, but I think we're just going to go for the Shambling Attendants, which are certainly playable. And then we're getting back into Mardu territory rather than Abzan, but that's okay. I don't have an issue with that. Molting Snakeskin seems like we could be pretty aggressive with it. Kind of wish Valley Dasher was a warrior. It would make this pick a little bit easier, I guess. Molting Snakeskin's fine. I guess it kind of works well with Dragon Grip if you make a guy 4 power and then instant speed that in somewhere. I'm actually a fan of Valley Dasher regardless. This card's actually better than I initially gave it credit for, but I guess we could also just take the Canyon Lurkers, which morphs, so we'll go for the morph guy instead. But I think Valley Dasher can actually get a lot of damage in this format. All right, Rush of Battle, but no, we're taking Skull Hunter number 2. Really trying to go deep on the warriors. So I guess now that we're looking beat down, I kind of wish I'd taken the 1-drop, but that's all right. So still can potentially splash green, but not sure we want to. I think I'd still rather stay in Mardu territory. So let's take the Bitter Revelation, which feeds our Delve. That seems right. All right, Bloodfire Expert. Neither of them are monks, unfortunately, but I think actually we take the Bondkin because we have this Outlast guy and Feat of Resistances, so you can get like a surprise thing. And it's just a 2-drop. I like 2-drops. I think Barrage of Boulders is actually pretty good against us. We've got a fair amount of X1s, so just sideboard that. It's also a nice sideboard card to have. Really happy we tabled this Hate Blade since it's perfect for our deck, being a one-drop warrior and all. So yes, still really haven't gotten fixing that helps me too much, but I do like where our deck's at. I really do actually like where the deck's at. I like our 2-drops a lot. Alright, so we can steal their guys. Here's a monk. Here's another monk. No warriors to be seen here, but I think we're just going to go with the Instigator. Active Treason with our beatdown deck seems like it would be very good. Here's a Morph guy that's pretty good too. I like the Evasion, but I like Active Treason more. Plus Jeering Instigator is just rare, so you can morph him in. It makes our red splash, because it does appear that red's just going to be a splash, which is fine. I think we just sideboard this, and probably the fixing too. But yeah, I mean, just Jeering Instigator is just a good card. Happily taking that. Savage Knuckleblade. Jeez, that guy seems pretty awesome. So Debilitating Injury now I think is just totally the pick. We've got just tons of 2-drop. So what better way to punish that than... Could also take the Mystic Monastery, but I think Debilitating Injury is actually exactly what this deck wants. Since killing Morph guys when you play a 2-drop is very good. Chief of the Edge into Debilitating Injury. It's a lot of early pressure, so I like it. We're going to take it. So we can take Active Treason here. Here's a Warrior, though. So I think I'm going to take the 2-drop Warrior. We've got a lot of 4-drops already. Another Active Treason would be welcome, but yeah, we're just going to take Seeker of the Way. Very good Warrior. Here's another Warrior. Really powerful one, too. Here's another Warrior. Multiple Warriors in here. Very good. We're just going to go with the Saddle Brute because that guy's terribly efficient, so... this looks like a nice little raid build. What's going to be our cut for that Saddle Brute? Probably the... I actually like the Dragon Grip in here. Usually it's, I would say, not that good, but considering we've got all these kind of weaker 2-drops, it seems like it's actually pretty powerful. No real fixing for us in here either, so I think we'll just take the Saddle Brute, who's good. Good warrior. Alright, so some more options here. We can take the Ponyback Brigade, which spits out a bunch of dudes, none of which are, well, he's a warrior though, so I guess he gets the bonus, but he doesn't spit out goblins that get the bonus. There's also Briber's Purse, which is fine for a deck like this, beatdown. It's actually probably where Briber's Purse is best. But there's also Debilitating Injury, and there's also Throttle. So I kind of like the Morph Killer again, but Ponyback Brigade is also a legitimate card. We don't have a ton of value to get from Ponyback Brigade, besides the fact that it's a warrior. I guess it's a warrior that gives a bunch of board clutter too, which is certainly good. But I kind of want some more removal, to be honest. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I just feel like with all of our cheap creatures, I'd rather have the really cheap Morph Killer. You can just put tons of pressure down fast. So here's an Abzan card. Here's a warrior. Here's a Rite of the Serpent. So current removal we're dealing with is double debilitating, double feat, Mardu Charm, Smite, Bring Low, Swift Kick. We actually are doing pretty good on removal. So I could just take another creature that's also a warrior. That might be the right choice. But I think Rite of the Serpent is actually significantly better. Like I don't even want to play Swift Kick really. And I can probably find something else to cut for this Rite of the Serpent too, but I don't think I want to pass the Rite of the Serpent. That's actually a pretty powerful card. Here's a Bloodfell Cave, so I think we got to take that. Well, geez, another Hate Blade too. See, the problem is the Hate Blades are so good for us because they're warriors that have Death Touch. And they turn on all of our raid guys. The problem is they're really important for us because if you look at how many raid cards do we have, I guess is the real question. We've got double Skull Hunter, which is just good. We've got double Lord, that's not raid though. We have the Horde Chief, which is definitely raid, and the Saddle Brute, which is definitely raid. So I kind of want it, but I guess we kind of need the Bloodfell Caves. Because I do still kind of want to play red in here with the Mardu charm and all of that. So Rush of Battle seems pretty good in here. We've got a lot of warriors at this point. Could also take the Blazebringer, which is in fact a warrior. I'm just not a big fan of the card. Kind of wish Leaping Master was a warrior instead of a monk, but we don't need to play him on the splash. I think we just take the Rush of Battle here, which is perfectly legitimate. This would have been much better if I'd picked up one of those Ponyback Brigades. What did I take over the Ponyback Brigade again? Kind of forget now. I'd have to think about it again. Look back. This is a Weapon Master, which probably could splash for. I've got the Swiftwater Cliffs. It just doesn't seem worth it. It's not even a warrior. I guess then again, none of these cards are very good, so we'll just take the Weapon Master. I mean, Dutiful Return is a card I just don't think I'm going to play it. So let's take that. Could take the Heart Piercer Bow. We can take Brave the Sands, but I don't think our guys having Vigilance really matters all that much. Heart Piercer Bow is a sideboard card. Swift Kick is, I guess it's okay to have, but we already have one and a lot of 4-drops, so I'll take the Heart Piercer Bow. Alright, so Swiftwing is a card. Bitter Revelation we already have. I'm not sure we need a second one. I don't have any problems with card draw. I just don't think that we need it. I don't even know if we're going to play the first one. We've got so many 4-drops already. I guess we'll take the Swiftwing, but likely not playing that either. Alright, so we get a Dutiful Return anyway. Could have taken the, I guess I could have taken the 1-drop Pump Dude, but I would rather have the Hate Blade, to be honest. So here, I guess we'll take the Scheming, which is a thing, Banner. Alright, so once again, I ended up fixing light. But look at our 2-drops, for God's sake. That is a lot of warriors. So we ended up with a pretty solid looking warrior deck, in my opinion. I think we can cut a lot of our, like, we probably don't need the Shambling Attendants, but I'll definitely still play the Sultai Scavenger, absolutely. But if we take a closer look at this deck, I actually think it's pretty good. I think all we really need to do is cut the Attendants. Not that they're a bad card, because they're fine. It's just not really fitting in thematically with what we're trying to do, which is beat down with warriors. So let's group stuff separate. We can take a look here. We've got to make 4 cuts. I like the removal. I don't know if we need the Bitter Revelation, because I want to keep this Rush of Battle, especially with the amount of warriors we have. Makes sense to me. Wait, I thought this was a warrior. Guess not. This guy's definitely a warrior, though. That guy makes warriors. How many warriors did we end up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? 10 warriors? Wow. You know, that's actually pretty good. I really think these Chief of the Edges can do a lot of damage early if I can make them work. So let's minimize Red's impact in this deck if possible. So let's cut the Dragon Grip. Not that it's a bad card. It's just probably not worth the splash. And let's, the rest of the red cards, well, I guess we can cut Canyon. Well, I kind of want to stay at 15 creatures, though, don't I? Mardu Charm's kind of a creature, but no. I think we're just going to cut spells from here on out. So let's cut the Bitter Revelation, and then I need 2 more cuts. So I want to keep my feats. I want to keep the Debilitating. I want to keep the Charm. Maybe I cut Bring Low or Smite main deck, and more likely the Bring Low since it's the red splash. And like I said, Canyon Lurkers is still acceptably playable because we're so light. Both of our red, okay, this is actually perfect because both of our red cards are morph. So if we don't see our red source, it doesn't screw us. And I do need to cut 1 more spell, which is becoming difficult. I really don't want to cut the Charm. This is just a bit too good for us with the double warrior token generation. But I don't want to cut Feat of Resistance. I don't want to cut Debilitating Injury. This is very difficult, actually. Maybe the Rite of the Serpent, just because it's expensive, but that's a powerful effect, man. That is a powerful effect. I certainly don't want to cut Debilitating Injuries, just because everybody's playing morph spells. So Debilitating Injury, in my opinion, is just straight up. Oh, wait. perfect. I don't have to cut anything. I already have the Bloodfell Caves in here. That's great news. All right, so red is pretty minimized in our deck, but the red we have is pretty good. Active Treason effect. I guess this guy's underwhelming. Why did I think he was a warrior? That's weird. I don't know why I thought he was a warrior, but 15 creatures is also acceptable. Not exactly what you want for beatdown, but acceptable. And how many red sources does this deck want? I mean, usually the magic number is 4, but I think we can get away with like 3 without hurting the mana base too much. So that, and then we go up maybe one more fairly even on the white and black front. So 7, 7, 2. Wait, so that's 8 black sources, 3 red sources, 7 white sources. That's probably acceptable. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get with this deck. I think it's okay. It looks pretty beat downish, which is, you know, always fun to play. Tons of 2-drops, which is nice. And I guess we could I don't actually. I was gonna say theoretically get away with 16 lands, but that's just straight up not true. Swiftwing in here is pretty underwhelming. If there's something I could replace that with, I probably would, but I just not feeling the Shambling Attendants in here. It's just too pricey. So I guess we're gonna try Swiftwing out. I'm not a big fan of that card, like I said, but you know, one nice thing about it is it's a good, it's a really nice evasive way to turn on your raid. So maybe if for anything, it'll be good for that. Too bad it's not a warrior bat, or a bat warrior rather. All right, so we're gonna run it like this. Hopefully our deck accepts, and it did. All right, so we'll see you round 1.